We just got out of the In the Heart of the Sea. What do you think?
I thought it was great. But
I'm joking because you always say that. I enjoyed it. It's not great. It's good. It's not great though. It's not Moby Dick. It's the story that inspired Moby Dick about the Essex, a whaling ship that goes out and gets all types of messed up. What thoughts do you have towards it?
Well, what facts do I have towards it? It's about this big, giant whale. I don't get what the heart about it is. All I saw was an eye.
Well, yeah, it's not about the heart of the whale. It's about the heart of the sea. Just like there are, I guess the whales, but I would say, I didn't really think about it, but I would say the heart of the sea is supposed to be the whale, and it's like defending the sea from the people trying to kill the other whales. So in many ways, it's kind of the heart of the sea is the defense of the sea kind of type deal. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. You were asking me who my favorite character was?
Yeah, mine's Chase.
Yeah, I was about to say probably Chase. He's the main character. Although I have a big complaint about something they do in this movie. It's a pretty big spoiler, I guess, although it doesn't really matter. So, you want to dive into spoilers real quick?
Yes.
Spoiler, the beginning of the movie, and it goes back and forth. It's Herman Melville interviewing the only guy left who was on the Essex. It was implied it was the sole survivor, but we actually see there are many survivors. So I guess he's just the last one left alive of the survivors. And it is heavily implied that this is the Chris Hemsworth character, Chase. And it's revealed at the end that it's not. Problem with that is that earlier in the movie, we are pretty much just following the Chris Hemsworth character through the story. So he's telling the story as if he were the Chris Hemsworth character, down to the point where he's talking to his wife, and his wife doesn't really want him to go, and he throws kind of a little tantrum, not a big one, but a little tantrum. And it's all this stuff that you would tell this kid this? It's like the kid isn't telling his story, he's telling Chris Hemsworth's story, and that doesn't make sense. Why would you tell us? Why would someone come to you and say, hey, I want your experiences when you did this thing? And you say, okay, I'll tell you my experiences from the other guy's perspective. He knows all types of things he shouldn't know, and that really bugged me. It's like, if you're going to do a twist like that, and about midway through it felt like they might do something like that, because I noticed he wasn't saying I did this, he was saying the first mate did this. But it just doesn't sync up. It doesn't sync up. Why does he know details about stuff the first mate did that the first mate would have no reason to tell someone else? That bugged me. As far as storytelling goes, it's a Ron Howard movie. It's a well-told story. But yeah, it's... yeah, it's not a great movie. It's not bad though. I will say this for it. This is the biggest compliment I can give to this, and it's actually not a bad one. For the 2-hour runtime, I was not thinking about Star Wars. You have any final thoughts?
Not really. I can only think of that book that I'm not supposed to mention.
Well, you were talking about how it's not exactly great artwork they were drawing on the tooth, but you even brought up to me that they did artwork on whale teeth.
Yeah, I read that in the same book.
That's actually kind of cool. It doesn't surprise me, but I didn't know about that. But there's a scene where the guy's drawing on a whale tooth. It's not exactly great artwork, but yeah, she leaned over to me and was like, hey, I read they actually did that. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, It said in the book that they used to that whalers carved pretty pictures on whale teeth.
Mm-hmm. Another minor complaint at the beginning, Chris Hemsworth, I swear his accent is not consistent. I swear it feels like it seems like towards the end either I got used to it or it got more consistent. But at the beginning, I swear he's jumping between his normal accent and the accent he uses in this movie. And I felt that was distracting. But that's not the whole movie. It's fine. If you're just looking for something to distract you from Star Wars for 2 hours, this is it. Final thought? Time's up.
Well, I said the book I was not supposed to talk about.
What book?
I meant the book besides the whole with women.
What, you talked about Moby Dick?
No.
Oh, we'll discuss that afterwards, I guess. Okay. Yeah. You know, one thing I think is interesting is we get these movies about the story behind the story. And why don't we get a movie about the story? There probably is a Moby Dick movie, but it's got to be years old. I can't think of a modern Moby Dick movie. Certainly, we could just do Moby Dick, unless you want to count Star Wars Wrath of Khan. Oh my God, Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan. What is it?
I heard the story of Moby Dick.
Yeah, about a captain that goes mad searching for revenge against a whale, and ultimately takes his life and his crew's life. Spoiler alert for Moby Dick.
Can I tell the story?
Sure.
It's kind of short.
Okay.
Well, there's this big whale named Moby Dick, and the Moby Dick bit off the captain's leg, and the captain really wanted revenge, but then he sunk the ship.
Yep, it did not turn out well for him.
Not a huge story.
Spoiler alert.
Not a huge
Well, I don't have any other thoughts, so wrap it up.
Yes.
Yep. Bye. I think we're going to try to see Krampus sometime tomorrow, so, yeah, we'll get something up for that.
Cramp? You mean Crumpus?
Whatever. It's spelled Krampus, but I swear they pronounce Crumpus.
Yeah, they call him Crumpus.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Hey, if you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. And if you really love this video, consider visiting my Patreon page.